Hey guys, it's Raiden, back at it again, and actually catching up on her from the bottom series build. And in this one, we are going to be getting into a man cave, which was decided between some sort of an evil lair, because Jet seems like a really good guy, and I just wanted him to have something that he felt the need to cover up, or a man cave. So I thought I really wanted to get into the Get Together expansion at this time because we're on the brink of another expansion, and I actually built this about 2 months ago, and there were some things that influenced me to not upload it, and that was just some personal demotivation. But we're back and we're doing it, so we will be fine. But I never really played much of the Get Together expansion. I kind of just used things from it because every expansion, it's nice to get the items and build with the new items that we get, right? That's one of the reasons why I buy into them. Not necessarily for gameplay. Gameplay is something that bores me at this point in my Sims career of having played it since the beginning one. And also Create a Sims does as well. I try not to spend as much time in there just because there is so much to do, and most of that time is making a sim that I try to make unique that winds up looking like myself anyway. So I just avoid all of it at all cost. Outside of that though, so a couple of the specs that we will see being built within this little speed build for our downstairs club hangout is the bar, which I am starting here. Has a little food area, which is quite nice, so the Sims can order food as they sit down. You can hire catering in order to tend that chef station right there, as well as a wraparound bar. So that is one of the iconic features of this specific build. So just the food and the bar. There is also music and a dance floor, and you can hire a DJ to go down there and spin some clips for your Sims to dance to. I don't know all that talk, so I'm just gonna stop. But yeah, so it's a nice little hangout. It's designed for a club to go down there and do their thing. I know I made Jet a part of 2 clubs, I think. Either 1 or 2. I don't remember the names of them, but I know they are base expansion clubs that he is in. It probably has something involving drinking or being a chef, something to that effect, because Jet is a pretty well-renowned chef at this point, and he kind of deserves the nice little hangout, so he could go down there and cook sometimes. I did notice that my Sims were avoiding the kitchen at all cost while actually playing in this and going downstairs and making food, so I actually had to lock the door. But I ran into some issues where one Sim would be cooking and another Sim would be starving and be impatient, need somewhere to cook, so I had to wind up just unlocking it anyways. I ran into some troubles with having this down here and having some things upstairs because Sims would just avoid them and come down here and use them, which is fine, I guess, but when you have multiple levels, for me, I tend to lose track of my Sims quite often, and when they wind up on multiple floors, it just gets really annoying to look for them. So I just kind of let it be and let my Sims start taking care of themselves after a while. So with this little chef room, I wanted to have some certain things that I wound up not necessarily doing in the end. I wanted to have a window that was much like the chef station window, where it was open to the inside and the patrons of the little club down there would be able to see in there. But I did not like the idea of the glass and things of that nature, so I left it blank in order to, well, not blank necessarily. I put drinks and things on the other side where the bar actually is, but I left it rather simple and kind of how I guess a bar would be. There are only some instances where you could actually see into the kitchen anyways. Usually that stuff's just kept a secret. I shouldn't just go trying to do things that you just don't do. I don't know what I'm talking about. I think I'm just gonna, let's go talk about something else. Alright, so, I wound up putting in a swimming pool, as you did see in the beginning, which out there is a very small, mediocre dining area where you can see out into the pool. So while Sims are swimming there, you can enjoy your whatever special fancy food you had made at the bar and whatever drinks you were ordering out at the one lonely table. I think there's only one. There might be two out at that table out there. And then there's also foosball, so you could play a game. Woo! One game. I don't know. I'm not big on the extra things in The Sims for the simple fact that I don't think my sim ever really has time to play them. When you think about The Sims, you think about, like, well, actually, just sit down and think about it. Unless you cheat for money and your sim is actually working for money, you barely have time to do anything. I did, like, a little from the bottom on my, like, for myself, where I did the same exact thing, but I didn't think about recording it for some odd reason. And I had a sim that looked just like Jet, and I got him a wife, built him up a family. You know, he was married to, like, a rocket scientist or astronaut or whatever. And it was just, like, time-consuming trying to give a sim a family, have them be a full-time doctor, and have kids eventually, and then they wound up getting a divorce, and he dated somebody else. Or actually, he knocked up a sim, and she had to leave the lot because she was having the babies. It was fucking ridiculous. I have the weirdest things happen to me in The Sims that I never get to capture because I'm not recording at these times. And it drives me insane. And I don't play that much anymore. And I'm actually yawning quite terribly while trying to get through this video. It's kind of tiring, even though it shouldn't be. So I haven't been doing much. I haven't been uploading much because I've been mentally demotivated, and that's just my own problem. Sometimes that happens to me, but I also have other things that I am looking forward to that I am trying to get to in my life. So right now, mostly with demotivating me, demotivating, fuck that word. What's putting me down is I have depression. I've had depression for too long, and it has just been eating me alive, and I can barely function because of it. So I did what any sensible almost 25-year-old would do, and I finally broke down and went to the doctor and paid way too fucking much for them to tell me, yeah, you need some meds, and here's a script, go pick it up in 20 minutes, you know? So, like, $200 later, I have a prescription that cost me, like, roughly almost $20 because I had to get antibiotics too for a cold, which was also another part of my reason. I was sick for like a month because I had like a lung infection. But yeah, so I got meds and I've been doing better. Instead of getting immediate anxiety to certain things that normally would have given me anxiety, you know, before taking these meds, I react and act a lot differently to certain situations that I am placed in, such that would have given me anxiety regularly, but do not anymore, which is very nice. So I handle difficult situations a lot better than I would have before, where I either would have gotten very pissed off, flustered, and went total house or pissed off on you. I now just go, yeah, well, that's like your opinion, and I'm gonna be professional about this situation now. So it's an interesting change for me, having worked with a lot of people that know and have known me and get to see me grow like this. It's just very weird. It's very interesting for me. It's a very big change for the past 6 years of my employment, so I look forward to it, to see where that takes me. And also, I sleep better at night. But the thing is, and what I've had to look forward to for actually within the next 8 months, is going to Sweden. So another one of the medications that I take is sleeping meds, so on top of antidepressants and whatnot. And I can actually dream now, and the dreams that I have aren't nightmares, which is very unusual. So I've been having like dream after dream upon dream about me going to Sweden, and it's just really intense. And I am mentally preparing myself for that little mini vacation where I get to leave the US for a period of time and actually go out and experience something that's outside of my little hole. And I've been practicing Swedish for the past year and a half almost. Will be 2 years by the time I actually get to go there. And even my depression has demotivated me from doing that as well. But at the same time, I've been picking up on Swedish things a lot better than I would have if I were going out and learning them on my own, or if I were using Rosetta Stone like I have been using. So I am a lot better at playing with the language and making things up and learning from my own mistakes than having something teach me to be flawless, essentially. You know, because that's not how you learn language. The best way to learn a language is by immersion. But still, regardless, I'm kind of going off on a tangent because this board is very boring to me, so I figured I would just talk to somebody, something, if you're listening out there. You know, one of the 4 people that do view my videos, and just say what's going on, especially if you've wondered if I've disappeared for a while and where I've been. So, but yeah, I actually plan on vlogging that trip to Sweden. So I want to open the idea of vlogging up to myself because I think that I will be very good at it, or I think it will be something that is good for me. So this video game thing isn't particularly my niche, but I love doing it because this is a game that I've played for years, since I was a kid. And I like to talk about it. I like to talk about the ups and downs. Like how I recently just I added my pets into Origin, so that's actually very interesting. On Origin, if you add your game code in now, it will automatically download the base game. And I didn't know that, so I've been holding off and playing this game forever when I could have been. And then I just bought Seasons for $20, and I was golden. Outside of that, I was not pleased by playing The Sims 3. I was not pleased by backtracking to find happiness, because if you've been watching this series, you know that that's the biggest thing I complain about, and I want to be satisfied in the best graphics available for The Sims, and I'm not. So it's just very obnoxious. It's obnoxious. I hate the building style, and I'll get into that because I actually made a video, because I've actually got a little series of this going, and I'm very excited for it, and I want to make it a big thing outside of Jet and being in The Sims 4. I have something going for The Sims 3, so I can't wait to get into it. But regardless, we'll save it for a later date because that's a whole new beast for me to bitch about. Regardless, so, you know, I generally try to plug my channel just a little bit, but I don't monetize. I do this for fun, and I've said it before. I don't think I will monetize this channel ever, and if I do, you will probably know because ads will be swarming my videos. But that's what I was talking about the blog thing for. I want to think about getting into vlogging. I want to think about getting into vlogging because that's what I want to monetize. But I mean, that's also a big thing on YouTube these days, so you can't really, it just don't work sometimes when you want to do stuff. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Trial and error, baby. Plus, who doesn't want to see an American go to Sweden and make a fool of themselves, even though I have a Swedish friend there to hold my hand through all of this and stop me when I'm being a complete fucking idiot. I think I'll be fine. But regardless, this has been a bunch of ranting and raving and talking about all sorts of, it's just a bunch of stuff. If there is something that you want me to talk about in a video, you can leave a comment about it. I will see that comment eventually. I usually view YouTube from an iPad, so it does not tell me when I have notifications for some strange reason. I try to make myself get on the computer and see them from the actual YouTube website, but that's few and far between. But there are things that I do see, and I like interacting with people who do leave comments. And I would gladly talk about something in a video that is commented. I'll take note of things that I see. So, yeah, I would like that. It's just stuff to talk about throughout videos. But we're coming at the end of this, and we are going to get into the screenshots. It's just some final detail now at this point. One thing that I did run into, and this is a bug from, this has been a bug for a while. It just randomly crops up. Your fence will disappear if you try to go over it. I tried to fix it. It didn't work. But luckily, I saved, reloaded the game. Boom, bada bing. We're back at 'em. So, thanks guys for stopping by for another episode of From the Bottom. And we're going to get into the screenshots here shortly. Thanks for listening to me ramble for a little bit. It's good to get another video out. But, getting into the screenshots, it's Raiden, signing off.